Welcome back to Bricks at War. Today we're going to take a look at the AH-64D Longbow Apache attack helicopter. Once again, welcome back to Bricks at War. Today we're going to take a look at the AH-64D Longbow. Developed in the late 1970s and entered service in 1986. Originally designed and built by Hughes Aircraft. The helicopter's cruising speed is 165 miles per hour at a max speed of 183 miles per hour. With a ceiling height of over 20,000 feet and an attack range of 296 miles, this gives it lots of flexibility on the battlefield. This helicopter was designed based on the losses being inflicted during the Vietnam War, primarily with the UH-60. Over 5,000 helicopters were shot down during the Vietnam War era, and about 5% caused casualties to the pilots. For these reasons, their primary goal was to increase pilot safety, plus increase the lethality on the battlefield. Some of the safety features added to the helicopter were armor plating to protect vital components as well as the pilot. Pilots literally sit inside a protective bathtub. This helps protect them from light arms fire up to 50 calibers. The fuel tank is also self-sealing, and there are many redundant systems on the helicopter which allows it to complete its mission and return to base. It can carry a combination of weapons loadouts on 4 hardpoint pylons located underneath the wings, 2 on each side. The D version can also carry Sidewinder missiles on the tips of the wings. The most common weapons loadout is the 2 Hydro 70 rocket pods and 8 Hellfire missiles. But its primary weapon, and most visual to all who see it, is its 30mm chain gun mounted on a turret underneath the belly of the aircraft. The chain gun itself is slave to the gunner's vision sight. Wherever he looks, that's where the gun is pointed. This helps shorten his reaction time to threats on the battlefield. The Longbow radar sits atop the rotor blades. This allows the helicopter to stay hidden behind hills or other obstacles, protecting it from enemy fire. The radar is capable of tracking 156 separate targets and engaging 16 targets at a time. The AH-64 Longbow has a digital link to other aircraft in the area, allowing attached helicopters to work in tandem to attack multiple targets at one time. The Apache is flown by Australia, Egypt, Greece, India, Indonesia, Israel, Japan, Kuwait, Morocco, Netherlands, Poland, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, the United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, and of course, the United States. The AH-64 has been upgraded multiple times in its lifespan. The current version being used by the U.S. Army is the AH-64E Guardian, with a production goal of 812. Some of the aircraft are newly built, and the others are remanufactured off original airframes. Let's take a look at the model itself. This kit was designed by Dan Siscom from Brickmania and was released in July 2016. It comes with 664 pieces, and as you can see, the model is looking a little bit outdated at this point, as a lot of new pieces have come out that would help create an enhanced appearance to this particular model. I'm sure sometime in the future Dan will get around to redesigning it to a more modern looking aircraft. Let's go ahead and start with the top of the aircraft. As you can see, here's the Longbow radar sitting atop. As I mentioned earlier, this is designed so that the aircraft can sit below the horizon or behind a hill or other obstacles to protect the helicopter itself from enemy fire, but yet be able to reach out into the battle space and see targets that can be engaged. Once again, this helicopter can track up to 156 different targets on the battlefield and can determine the higher level of threats out there and engage them simultaneously up to 16 and also being linked to other helicopters. So if it was working in tandem with another Apache out on the battlefield, they theoretically could engage up to 32 different tanks or other obstacles out on the battlefield with their Hellfire missiles. So that gives it a lot of advantage out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the wings and the hard points. I'm going to shift this around just a little bit. So underneath each wing, you can see there are 2 hard points. This particular one has the Hydro 70 rocket pods on this side, and then it's got 4 Hellfire missiles here. Now, when it's in the anti-armor role, they'll remove one of the hydropods and replace it with an additional 4 Hellfire missiles, giving it the capability of engaging up to 16 different tanks out on the battlefield itself. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chain gun mounted on the turret underneath. I'm going to angle this up just a little bit so you get a better look at it. As you can see, the chain gun, 30 millimeter chain gun, is mounted underneath. It is movable, so we'll go ahead and show you how you can move it left or right or angle it up or down. Let's not knock this off our stand here. But it's all made of Lego parts. They're not using brick arms parts for that, which is great. So you probably have a lot of these parts already in your particular collection should you want to make one of these. Now the front here, the sensor array on the front is movable and moves up and down, which is great. I like that. And we'll go ahead and set this back down here, swing it around a little bit. And then it's got 2 engine pods, one on each side of the turbo engines that drive the helicopter and make it capable of doing what it can do. The helicopter rotor on top does spin freely, and the rear blades spin as well. The fin in the back is adjustable up and down, as you can see, which is a nice effect. And we'll go ahead and put this a little bit here so you can see the cockpit. So the cockpit has a spot for 2 pilots or gunners. The top section is the primary pilot, and the second section, the lower section here, is what's called the CPG, or co-pilot gunner. From those particular positions, the gun can be aimed, weapons can be fired, and both positions can actually fly the helicopter if need be out in the battle space. Now the landing gear itself is a very simple but easy design. It's kind of being held in place with friction techniques pins, holds it right up there, which is great. And I like that look. It looks really good. These actually don't belong on there. We were using that earlier for something else. Now the only thing I don't really enjoy about this helicopter, and we've run across this problem with multiple designs of helicopters out there by different designers, is the rear wheel. As you can see, it moves really easy, and when you put this on the ground, it's not going to stay in position. It's going to just move all over the place and slide around. So this really needs a redesign. There may be a newer part or a way of designing that so it looks, or it stays in that particular position, which is the position it really needs to stay in to work effectively for this particular model. Go ahead and swing that around once again. Now the blades are shiftable. You can adjust the angle of the blades, and you can bend them. So like if you were transporting them and you didn't want to remove the blade, you could do that with them. That way you can put them in a box if you're storing your helicopter for long-term use, or if you're transporting it on a C-130. You can adjust those blades, or you can simply remove them. They're just being held on by Techniques pins, adjustable components there on the top itself. This concludes today's video. We sure hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Once again, thanks for watching Bricks at War. Have a great day.